In this lesson, we are going to learn about the number 100, which in Chinese is bai. To use this number correctly, you only need to remember 4 simple rules. First, unlike English, you must always specify the 1 in front of 100, so it is 一百. Second, when there is a 0 inside the number, you must pronounce it. For example, 101 is 101. Third, for numbers like 110, you must pronounce the 1 in front of the 10, so it is 110. Finally, for numbers in the 200s, there are 2 ways to pronounce the 2. You can say 200 or 200. Let's see how bai works in different contexts. 100, 100, 101, 101, 110, 110, 116, 116, 120, 120, 200, 200 or 200, 206, 206 or 206, 222, 222 or 222, 260, 260 or 260. 我有300块钱. I have 300 yuan. 我有300块钱. We start with a standard transaction. In spoken Chinese, we use the measure word 块 for money. It is also very common to omit the noun 钱 if the context is clear, simply saying 我有300块. Notice that the number 300 acts as a single unit modifying the noun. The order is strict: number plus measure word 块 plus noun 钱. 这本书有404页. This book has 404 pages. 这本书有404页. This sentence shows how to handle a 0 inside a number. Quite simply, whenever a 0 sits inside a number, it must be pronounced 404. We also see the measure word 页 here, which is used specifically for counting pages in a book or document. 我们学校里有几百人. Our school has several hundred people. 我们学校里有几百人. Usually, 几 is a question word meaning how many, but when placed before a number like bai, it represents an uncertain number estimated between 2 and 9. Therefore, 几百 means several hundred, specifically anywhere from 200 to 900. This is very useful when you want to give an estimate without being specific. 这个手机要300元. This mobile phone costs 300 yuan. 这个手机要300元. In this sentence, we use yuan instead of kuai. Yuan is the formal currency unit seen on price tags. While you will see yuan written, in daily speech you would usually say 300 kuai or 300 kuai qian. Here, the verb 要 literally means to want. In this context, it implies the phone wants or requires 300 yuan from you to be purchased. 他认识400个汉字. He recognizes 400 Chinese characters. 他认识400个汉字. The verb 认识 means to know or to recognize a person or a character, implying familiarity. When counting 汉字 Chinese characters, we use the general measure word 个. While 400 might sound like a lot, you generally need about 2,500 to read a newspaper comfortably. 我奶奶今年100岁了。My grandmother is 100 years old this year. 我奶奶今年100岁了。This is a crucial reminder that you can't just say 百岁, you must explicitly say 100, 100. Here, 100岁 acts as the phrase describing the grandmother, and the particle 了 at the end indicates a change of state. She has now reached the age of 100. 我们学校的图书馆里有几百本中文书。There are several hundred Chinese books in our school's library. 我们学校的图书馆里有几百本中文书。This sentence has a long location phrase, 我们学校的图书馆里, inside our school's library. We must establish where we are before we say what exists there. Because we are talking about books, 书, we must use the measure word 本, not 个. Even though the number is an estimate, 几百, the measure word must be precise. 他来中国100天了，认识了很多新朋友。He has been in China for 100 days and has met many new friends. 他来中国100天了，认识了很多新朋友。Here, 100天 indicates the duration of his stay. Notice that 天 is a measure word itself, so we don't say 100个天. The 了 at the end of the first part of the sentence suggests this is the current state up to now. He has reached the 100-day mark. 我爸爸给了我250块钱，他说：“你去书店买书吧。” My dad gave me 250 yuan. He said, "Go to the bookstore to buy books." 我爸爸给了我250块钱，他说：“你去书店买书吧。” The number 250, read as 250, is a slang term in Chinese meaning idiot or stupid person. Because of this negative meaning, when talking about quantity or money, people often prefer to say 250 or fully articulate 250 to avoid calling someone a 250. The particle 爸 at the end of the dad's speech softens the command into a suggestion. Why don't you go buy books? The character by is essential for moving beyond basic counting. Remember that you must explicitly say the 1 in 100, 100, pronounce the 0 in numbers like 101, 101, and include the 1 before the 10 in 110, 110. Also, remember that for 200, you can use either 200 or 200. Whether you are counting money, years, or pages, keep these rules in mind, and you will sound very natural.